Ukrainian forces are in counteroffensive hunting down Russian weak points along an 800-mile front, according to an advisor to the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense in Kiev, amid reports of significant Ukrainian breakthroughs in the south and east of the country. Andriy Zagorodnyk served as Ukraine's Minister of Defense from 2019 to 2020 and is now an advisor to the Ministry of Defense of Ukraine. He said that the ongoing operation was opportunistic and deliberately nimble. "We are pushing in different places," said Zagorodnyk. "We try to get into different places. Then we saw where the opportunities were, and then, where there were opportunities, we started suddenly exerting force. That's called thriving. It's a doctrinal term meaning that you make the most of opportunities and exert strength where you feel they will succeed. That's what happened," added Zagorodnyk. Reports say there was a major new Ukrainian offensive on the southern Zaporizhia front and reportedly through the Russian lines near the town of Robotyne. The Institute for the Study of War geolocated combat footage to a location several miles beyond Russian forward positions, indicating limited penetration by Ukrainian forces. Elsewhere, Ukrainian troops have reported progress around the destroyed town of Bakhmut in eastern Donetsk Oblast. Ukraine claims liberation of the village of Staromaersk, equidistant from Zaporizhia and Donetsk on the southeastern front. Kiev officials praised the recent achievements, with President Volodymyr Zelensky responding to Staromaersk's release by writing on Telegram, "We South. Our people, glory to Ukraine." But the decisive breakthrough has so far been elusive, some 6 weeks after the long-awaited counterattack operation. The slow pace of the push and the high casualties and reported rate of loss of equipment have raised fears that Kiev forces will not be able to push the Russians out of their heavily fortified positions in the occupied areas. Zagorodnyk said that it was too early to say where and when the decisive victory would come. "On time, no one knows exactly," said Zagorodnyk. "And many people think that this is taking too long. I don't think so. But that's a very subjective thing. In essence, no one can have a schedule, because everything is opportunistic. Whether there will be developments that will change the course of the war we do not know. We will see only with time. When the time comes, we'll see how it goes and we'll understand. But the direction is right. Our strategic direction is south. We want to develop things in the south, that's for sure." Zagorodnyk added that geographic advances are not necessarily more important than the continued degradation of Russia's combat capabilities. "What many people don't realize is that we have blown up a large number of ammunition depots over the last few months," he said. "All of this is related to Russia's ability to withstand pressure. That's basically what we've been working on all this time to make sure that Russia has as little chance to hold off on the pressure as possible. It may not look like we are moving forward, but it is very important for the business," added Zagorodnyk. The Ukrainian armed forces have claimed another day of significant losses to the Russian military, as Kiev forces continue their multi-pronged counteroffensive operations in the south and east of the country and seek a decisive breakthrough of the enemy's defensive lines. Ukrainian military updates report another 560 Russian soldiers missing, with a total of 244,830 claimed since Moscow's full-scale invasion of the country began on February 24, 2022. Among other Russian losses reported by Kiev from the last 24 hours of fighting were 4 tanks, 14 armored fighting vehicles armor, 30 artillery systems, 1 anti-aircraft platform and 11 UAVs. Documents released in a Pentagon leak earlier this year showed 189,500 to 223,000 Russian casualties in February, including up to 43,000 killed in action. On the Ukrainian side, the Pentagon estimates 124,500 to 131,000 casualties at the same point this year, with about 17,500 estimated killed in action. The Kiev counteroffensive has been ongoing since early June, but so far Ukrainian forces have been unable to achieve and exploit any significant battlefield breakthroughs. Ukrainian officials and commanders have asked for patience, pointing out that the initial phase of the operation is meant to stretch Russian defenses and identify weak points for further offensives. Hanna Maliar, Ukraine's deputy defense minister, told reporters on Thursday that territorial gains were only one element of Ukraine's battlefield plan. The main task we face now, apart from moving forward, is of course to weaken the enemy's ability to defend himself, said Maliar, as reported by Ukrinform. And, in fact, it is being done now. Every week dozens of ammunition depots were destroyed, hundreds of Russian soldiers were destroyed every day. We're already seeing signs that it's getting harder for the enemy to fight back. And our defenders are full of strength to move forward, added Maliar. Ukraine has won back significant land from occupied Russian troops in the ongoing counteroffensive in the south and east of the country, according to the latest battlefield maps published by the Institute for the Study of War. In the bulletin, ISW said Kiev forces were continuing offensive operations in southern Zaporizhia Oblast and eastern Donetsk Oblast, while defending against new Russian offensives in northeastern Luhansk Oblast. Ukrainian attacks in recent days have reportedly focused on sections of the Zaporizhia front near the towns of Orikhiv and Robotyne, and on the Vremivka salient along the administrative border between Zaporizhia and Donetsk oblasts, where Kiev troops on Thursday claimed to have liberated the village of Staromayorsk. ISW geolocated battlefield footage on Wednesday showed an attack by Ukrainian mechanized troops had penetrated the Russian lines south of Orikhiv and penetrated several miles back. Ukrainian troops may have advanced further in western Zaporizhia Oblast than ISW has been able to visually confirm so far, the think tank wrote in a bulletin. Geolocation footage showing that one Ukrainian armored vehicle reached a Russian anti-tank position northwest of Verbov 17 kilometers 10.5 miles southeast of Orikhiv, approximately 3.5 kilometers beyond the ISW front line currently assessed. It is not clear why a Ukrainian armored vehicle approached a Russian defensive position without additional troop support. ISW wrote. The fact that these Ukrainian lone vehicles advanced so far towards the Russian lines apparently without suffering Russian fire suggests that Ukrainian troops may have made advances in an area around southeast of Orikhiv that ISW has not seen visual confirmation of. Further east, Ukrainian soldiers posted photos and videos of themselves liberating the village of Staromayorsk, prompting a celebratory telegram message from President Volodymyr Zelensky. Russian Milblogger claimed overnight on July 26 and during the morning of July 27 that Ukrainian troops were holding positions on the northern outskirts of Staromayorsk and were continuing to push on the village itself from the north and northwest, ISW wrote.